While Egypt is in the midst of a deep economic crisis, many people continue to live in poverty and the country's water supply is increasingly being cut by Ethiopia. The government is building a gigantic project. A completely new capital is being built in the middle of the desert. It is to be a smart city with the tallest building in the world, green energy and no crime. So what is this mega project all about? How far has construction progressed and what impact will this new capital city have on the country? We take a look at all of these questions in today's video. Enjoy! Egypt's current capital, Cairo, is the largest city in Africa with an estimated population of over 21 million. So the city has gigantic dimensions and also has a very high population density. With 15,000 people per square kilometer, it is one of the most densely populated cities in the world. Cairo is therefore bursting at the seams, with mega congestion making it partly impossible to get from A to B within the city. In addition, the population of Greater Cairo is expected to double again by 2050. And this is how the plan for a new capital city came about. The city is located in the desert about 45 kilometers east of Cairo, halfway to the port city of Suez with the important Suez Canal. The entire administration, government offices, ministries and foreign embassies are to move to this new capital. However, the city is not to become just any new city, but it is to become a metropolis of absolute superlatives. With gigantic palaces, crystal pyramids and the new highest building of the world, the obelisk capital with 1 kilometer height. A theme park 4 times the size of Disneyland and a park twice the size of Central Park in New York. A total of almost 7 million people are to live in the city. Dubai is the model in many parts, as the city is also to become one of the largest financial centers in Africa and the Middle East. However, under the guise of relieving the pressure on Cairo and improving the living conditions of Egyptian residents, the new capital serves an entirely different purpose. President al-Sisi, who came to power in a military coup, wants above all to consolidate his power. And following the example of the Gulf states, distract attention from important problems with mega projects. For example, 51% of the company responsible for building the city is in the hands of the Egyptian military. This means that the military has a direct stake in the sale of the residential areas and also holds more than half of the shares in the authorities and ministries. Thus, its military is not only gaining more influence economically, but its ties to politics are also becoming closer. Moreover, the new capital does not benefit most poor Egyptians at all. It will be a center for the rich Egyptian upper class and also rich foreigners. Apartments are to cost an average of $50,000 to $100,000. In the financial district, even $350,000. However, the GDP per capita in Egypt is only $3,600, which should make it clear for whom these housing units are being built. But how far has construction progressed at all? Construction began back in 2015 and is actually progressing relatively quickly. Some neighborhoods are already complete, but some still lack elevators and other infrastructure. Some of the gigantic shopping malls are already finished, but many of them are not yet in operation. Often the power supply is still lacking and the sand is already causing problems for some of the buildings. But the Egyptian government is convinced that it can solve all the problems and complete the city in the next few years. In 2021, it signed a contract with Siemens, under which the new capital will be connected to the country's other major cities by high-speed trains. Originally, the new capital was to be occupied as early as 2020, but this was delayed. The new date was to be January 2023, but this date could not be met either. So it will certainly take some more time. By the way, I say new capital all the time because the city has no official name yet. There was a tender for various proposals, but the results have not yet been published. The Egyptian Minister of Transport only hinted that the city could be called Egypt. So we see the future of the city is very difficult to predict. The biggest problem at the moment is getting people to move to the new city. Most Egyptians simply cannot afford it, and foreigners are also holding back so far. So it is uncertain whether this 60 billion city will ever pay off for the government. What do you think about this new capital? Write it down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, I also recommend you my last video. In this, we talked about the insane plan of a bridge between Russia and Alaska. Enjoy this video, and I say bye.